This is hilarious. In this video, I'm back at the Great British Car Journey in Derbyshire for the Drive Dad's car I've been really waiting for. Yes, it's a later Reliant Robin. Fans of the channel remember I went to the Netherlands and drove a Mark 1 Robin in 2023. That was a lovely thing to do. But now we're on to a full, what I like to call, Aging Wheels spec. If you haven't seen the Aging Wheels YouTube channel, he's based in Missouri in America, and he has one of these later Robins, and he likes it very much, which is good to see. I have not really done that much driving in the three-wheeled Reliant, so I'm looking forward to having a bit more of a drive around this on the site. But first of all, let's get into a bit of Reliant Robin history. So the Reliant Robin story goes all the way back to 1973. The history of Reliant goes far earlier. Tom Williams worked at Raleigh. Yes, the people who made bikes. Briefly had a dabble in cars, and specifically with three-wheeled cars and vans. Unfortunately, Raleigh decided to focus on bikes instead and closed down their car production, so Tom Williams went off, formed the Reliant Motor Company to build his own three-wheelers. The Regal was the first passenger car. I think that was introduced in 1952, originally with an engine developed from the Austin 7, but then the Regal 325 introduced Reliant's own all-alloy engine. We'll have a look at the engine in a moment. You have to ignore other car noises going on. There's quite a lot of YouTubers here today, all driving cars they have picked out from the cars you can drive, but this is the one for me today. So the Regal was eventually replaced by the Robin in 1973, quite a different chassis, a bit more stability, still that all-alloy engine. And Reliant Robin production went through till 1981, I think it was, at which point the Rialto took over, which was pretty much the same thing with a different nose. IAD did the styling on that one. In 1998, Reliant decided to bring back the Robin name, and it now had a hatchback to make it more practical, and a front end modified to use Ford Fiesta lights. And then finally in 1999, this later front end with the Vauxhall Corsa headlamps was developed. But really, things were getting a bit tough by now. Profitability was getting harder and harder for what was fundamentally a very old design. Yes, the galvanized chassis was a big bonus, but really this is still the same car as the 1970s, just broadly updated with different styling. So production finally petered out in 2001. A company, BM Plastics, bought the rights and tried to make a few more, but only made about 50 before that petered out in 2002. So this is quite a rare car towards the end of production. So starting at the rear, we've got the successful integration of Ford Escort van rear lights. They look like they kind of always belong there. And we've got the hatchback that had been introduced on the Rialto in 1986. The Rialto originally had a fixed rear window with just a little opening boot at the bottom. The preceding Robin Mark 1 had just a glass lift-up screen. But this has a full hatchback, and being quite upright, it means you can get an awful lot in here. It's quite a spacious boot with folding seat as well. So the hatchback is almost as practical as the estate car version you could get. Moving inside, we've got the mini door handle, very simple flimsy seats, and we'll see whether they're comfortable as I jump aboard. Oof, it's a bit of a squeeze, and it's a bit of a squeeze because the gearbox is right here. It's very direct action, very snickety little lever because it's pretty much right into the gearbox, and even the engine comes in, so I think the back of the engine is technically beneath the scuttle here. We'll have a look under the bonnet in a moment. We've got heated air. I think you pull it for heat or push it in for heat, one of the two. Choke control, fresh air vent. We've got a cigarette lighter, Pioneer, ooh, flashy, and various switchgear scattered all about, and stalks you'd recognise out of a Metro. We've got a glove box, sort of, and we've got a slightly broken door handle, but yeah, it's all very flimsy, but you know, it is unmistakably an actual car, so it wins some points at least. It does feel a little cosy, especially for the standards of the time, but yeah, unfortunately the market for these cars was shrinking considerably. as other cars became safer and more fuel efficient, and kind of robbed the Reliant of their USP. So under the bonnet you might expect to find an engine, but what you actually find is the heater unit for the most part, and the radiator, and the engine is actually squashed away back here. 848cc, around 40 brake horsepower, so quite punchy, especially given this car has quite a light weight. But yeah, to work on, not the easiest, although you can drop the engine and gearbox out through the bottom, I believe. But at least we've got an internal latch now to keep the bonnet secure, a bit of an improvement over the earlier versions. Are we ready? Try and remember which key it is. Not that one, but the other key. It's a good thing about old cars, you often had so many keys and they so often told you nothing. Oh, there we go, there's your wiper action. See, not very good for the poor passenger. No triangle of doom because it's a single wiper. Right, there we go. I might have to leave the window open a little bit for ventilation. I might turn the heater fan off though, that is quite loud. There we go. Oh, sounds like the exhaust might be blowing a little bit. But there we go, long travel on the clutch compared to my old Foxan. But yeah, the engine is so far back of course because there's a front wheel just there. Oh, this feels absolutely tiny. Hilarious. Thank you. That's Katie wrenching wench in a little Mini. Very sort of her size car, that. Oh yeah, the exhaust is definitely leaking. I can smell it. Yeah, for 1999 this feels, I mean, frankly awful. Round we go. Will we fall over? Oh, apparently not. Reliant's not as unstable as Top Gear would have you believe. In fact, I can even chuck it around quite a bit. We're not falling over. They are far more stable than Top Gear would have you believe. The ride, however, is a little primitive, I'm going to say. Well, thankfully still better than my Reliant Fox was. So much standing water around. Oh yeah, that's 40 miles an hour, which I'm probably not meant to be doing. Someone else is out in a Capri by the look of it. Nice, nice. I think she's enjoying that little Mini. Oh, round we go. But yeah, don't be under any impression that these things fall over at the drop of a hat. They don't. If you try doing the elk test, it'll behave like an A-class Mercedes. It'll fall over. But you can't defy physics. It is still a freewheeler. But yeah, they're just not as bad as you think. Poor Reliant tried its best, but after the 1970s, when the Mark 1 Robin was a huge success, they really struggled to really make it any profit at all. I'm just trying to work out what they're doing here. Oh, they're parking right in the middle, are they? I'm going to go and swerve around. That's UK barn finds there. Oh, bit of wheel spin, bit of wheel spin. See, that's what tends to happen. If it gets a bit too light on that inside wheel, the wheel spins, you don't tend to fall over. You can make one fall over if you really want to, but I would not recommend it. But yeah, in the comparing this to other cars of 1999, when you could buy a Citroen Saxo, even a Proton would be a proper car for not an awful lot of money and with very good economy as well. Reliant were kind of just priced out the market. They were trying to compete with these mass-produced cars, some from far-flung countries, and they couldn't do it. Oh, they're so willing though. They're so much fun to drive. And the steering is so direct. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, she does light up an inside wheel quite easily in these wet conditions. The first time I drove a Mark 1 Robin, I really did chuck it around. And I was astonished that it would lose grip before falling over. It's just a great little engine, all alloy engine, and Reliant introduced it, I think, in 1962. Remarkably ahead of its time back then. Now, even the Mini here we see Wrenching Wench still enjoying. That's an all-iron engine and was right till the end of production. That's in the year 2000. That's crazy, but Reliant was so ahead of the game. But lightweight was what it was all about. We're going to do a slalom through these cones. Wonderful. This is so much fun. Even on this little closed circuit on which we find ourselves, this is hilarious. Through the slalom again we go. Are we falling over? We are not. Going to avoid that big twig. Oh, this is just hilarious. What an amazing little car. Ooh, Austin 3 litre. Don't mind if I do. Oh my days, that was so much fun. For my money, 49 quid. You can come here and drive that. And to be honest, I'd have that the pick of anything. They've got Rolls Royces, Morris Minors, this old Wolseley, the Rover P4, all available to drive. And I guarantee you will not have more fun than driving this around. Amazing cars, nowhere near as unstable as Top Gear would have you believe. Is it a horribly outdated car for 1999? Yes, 100%. But does that mean it's no fun at all? Absolutely not. Huge fun, 3 wheels, the way to go. Thank you very much for watching. Just head to their website, drivedadscar.com, if you would like to book in a slot on the hilarious Robin or anything else on the fleet. And we'll see you in a future video. Farewell.